Hi everyone, Angelina, Sparkling Deva, another prick card reading. This time it's on Does He or She Still Think About Me? So if you want to know, maybe you yourself are still, having feelings for an ex-partner, or maybe you're just curious, but that's what the reading is going to be about. So you can make your choice. There's three. We have the lepidolite. This is my own little piece of Wales. I haven't a clue what it is. It's quartz with, that blue-grey stone. It could be Preseli stone, but I'm not entirely certain if that's the case or not. It's really quite pretty, and I hope you can see it. See, there's a bit more white there, the quartz. There's a lot of quartz when you're walking around in Wales. You can pick it up everywhere. But I found this in the sea, and it was really calling me. I saw it shimmering, and I knew I had to go back to see what it was, and it turned out to be that stone. So it's my own little piece of Wales. That's number 2. Number 3 is a yellow calcite. So 1, 2, or 3. And then we're going to begin. Right, numbers 1, your first 2 cards. Does he or she still think about you? Well, at the time, they had to make a choice, right? That's making a choice, and you see that card follow the leader. This card is basically saying that since you parted ways, they gotten wiser. So maybe the way it went, the breakup went, or the relationship went, was not really to be very proud of. I don't know, that it will vary for everyone, right? But he learned from it. And he's a lot wiser now, and also with the choice making, I get a sense that it took them, I might say he, okay, that's his force of habit. So you could also be asking about a woman. Then please, if I say he, then, or man, or whatever, then change that, for yourself. It could be that he needed a lot of time before he decided what he was going to do with your connection, with your relationship with you, because he didn't know, and he waited a long time, lingering. What am I going to do? Am I going to go left? Am I going to go right? I don't know. And the thing is, he has moved on. He basically, made himself do that. I'm not certain exactly why. There could be another reason for it. Maybe there was another party involved who put pressure on them or something. I get that from the clock there in the tree, as if he had to make a decision before it was, for instance, 12 o'clock or something, right? So at some point, or it can also be that they themselves felt on the inside, okay, I can't be busy with this, thinking about this, and forever. I just have to make a decision, right? So it can also be that they themselves put pressure on it, so they wouldn't stay in this place of what am I going to do for months, years on end. So in a way, they also made themselves make a decision, and he made that decision, and he moved on. But then there is a but. There is still, I think you can see that I've never seen that before. There is a bird here, this turquoise colored bird. I immediately felt that he has left a part of himself, of his heart, behind. So he moved on, but there is still something in his heart for you. It's something special. So he hasn't forgotten about you. So he has moved on, but a part of him hasn't completely. Is still holding a special place for you in his heart. And that's represented by that bird. Now we're going to look at your, I was about to say credit card. I don't know what made me think of that. Your tarot cards. We have the Four of Cups. We have the King of Wands. And we have the Hanged Man. With this, I see the same thing. Here, a bit of the part of him that hasn't moved on, really. Meaning, resulting in the fact that he cannot fully appreciate what he has now, what is around him now. He's not seeing that. And that's because of that bird that was still here. Right? That part that is still, in a way, a little bit with you. And on the outside, for the most part as well, this is not a facade. It is him, for the most part, being happy again, joyful, inspired, inspiring, charming, and so on and so forth. He's radiant again, and he's fully living his life again. But deep down on the inside, there is still this little thing that is niggling a little bit, because you are still there in his heart, or what you had together, so he hasn't completely forgotten. Even though he has moved on, he still thinks of you, or even if not consciously thinks of you. You're still in his system, let me put it that way, right? And then we have the Hanged Man. Let me try and move him over so it's in the light a little bit more. That's also it's not action, right? It's slowing down, is waiting, basically pausing, taking a break, and hanging upside down so you can look at things from a different perspective, from a different angle, and then just take your time to feel what that's like, to think about that, to ponder that, and what you're going to do with that, and so on and so forth. And I do get the sense from this that he's still at times looking back at what you had or what he felt for you, and to place that, to basically work through it. So in a way, he's still busy with that. And it could be that it again, it's not a conscious thing. Not like, okay, now I'm going to take a time out, I'm going to take half an hour and I'm going to sit and think about that. It could be, but I think it's more on a subconscious level, maybe even during sleep, that he dreams about you, for instance, or about what you had or whatever. I feel it's more on a subconscious level because he has moved on. And I think he also really has rebuild his life, or her, right? Again, if you're asking about a woman, then it's about the woman, right? But on a deeper level, on a more subconscious and emotional level, it's there still. It's still, there's still something there, still some feelings, and there could be a sense of regret, because we had with this card that he had gotten wiser, and that wisdom came from trial and tribulation. That's and so it could be that he in a way regrets how it went, and that it didn't end well, right? That you split up. But he has moved on, right? But you're still, in the back of his mind, so to speak. And then 3 more cards. Let me see. Oh, these are always difficult. These thicker cards. No, I was using that one. Archangel Raphael. We have one of scrolls is swords, I think, on track. And we have caught in the ruins. This is awkward again with the light. And I can't really get that much better in this setup. Well, let's first do that card. Archangel Raphael. He wants you to move on as well. He wants you to heal. He wants you to feel happy again, open your heart again. And he really is hoping that you are happy, that you have healed. So whatever happened, you likely were quite devastated by the breakup. You were really hurt. And this is also why I somehow feel that he has regrets a bit. Not regret of you breaking up per se, but regret about how it went and that he hurt you in the process. That doesn't sit well with him at all. So he hopes, sorry, with that green ball, he's basically offering you the healing for your heart so you can move on as well. It is possible that they moved on, that they have found new love in the meantime. That is very possible. But they want you to heal. They do not want you to be sad and heartbroken over whatever went down. He loves you that much. He cares so much about you. And that doesn't have to be like romantic love. That's just like human, right? Human love. He doesn't want you to suffer, so he's offering you the healing. He's wishing that you really are feeling good, that you are healed, that you have moved on, that your heart can shine and is open again. Because I didn't say that. These are about how he is looking back on what happened. And then we go to the on track. He or she made the conscious decision to leave, and they prepared thoroughly for that. So it wasn't on a whim. They gave that real good thought. And we saw that earlier as well, right? With these, I said that here too, that it took them quite some time to make that decision. They lingered for a long, long time not knowing what to do, whether to stay or to move on, then go left or right or whatever. Could be with this that there was a third party involved and you were left and they were right, or the other way around. It doesn't really matter. Both seemed good options and he didn't know what to do, or she didn't know what to do. That is possible. I'm not saying that was the case. Could be for a number of you that it was a third party situation. Anyhow, it wasn't, the decision wasn't made on a whim. He did prepare very well because he packed a suitcase. Let's see if I can get the light a bit closer now. They packed a suitcase and he put on a suit. He properly groomed, made himself look nice to get going, to get on a journey, to start a journey, to leave you basically and your relationship. And he might not have liked the leaving, the departing 100%. I mean, it's not like he's just going on that train in a fashion of like, well, whatever, can't wait to get on this train. He's got one foot on the step and the door is open, but he's still looking back. He's still, right? So it's not like it was easy for him. I don't think it was easy for him at all. But they did make their decision. They did take their time to think about that, and they also knew that as soon as they got on that train, that would be it. There was no going back. They knew that too. Probably that's the reason they took so long to make that decision. They knew they could not go back. So it was all or nothing in a way. Caught in the ruins. It's so annoying that it's so dark up there. I'll just move it over. Now then you get to see the light in the camera. Well, maybe this works. Caught in the ruins. There is this story that a relationship is a connection, chemistry, and commitment. Commitment is the part, like the connection, chemistry you can have with thousands of people doesn't mean anything much. You need a commitment to make it mean something, to build a healthy relationship. And that means that, for instance, you can yeah, it's just a story, but it's very accurate, that you then start building a castle on a plot of land together. So there's two builders, and that castle is your relationship, and it grows and it's unique. No one else has got a castle like that in the world, and that's your relationship then, right? And you both work on that castle, on building it, on maintaining it, on living in it and being happy in it. And you started building together. And I know that sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes one is building and the other isn't. They just think they are, but that's not the case. That happens an awful lot. But there's two keys here. Not certain if you can see that. Let's get it a bit closer. Two keys here. I'd also never seen that before. So you were building together, but at some point, something changed. Something changed in the dynamic for whatever reason. And then things started to fall apart as opposed to being built up. Whatever was happening between the two of you didn't build the relationship anymore. It was actually then beginning to destroy it. And you were both kind of caught in that, in what was going on. Neither were able to pull the plug on the situation right away. And if you can see, as you can see, the woman doesn't look too happy. And he looks like he wants to talk to her, like he wants to be there for her or whatever. And what I feel is that he felt that he couldn't make you happy anymore. For whatever reason. Doesn't mean to say that if you're the woman you did something wrong. No, not at all. Sometimes these things just happen, right? And then the guy gets the sense that he can't make you happy, and yeah. And then there's something off, otherwise you wouldn't feel that way, because she does feel that way, right? She doesn't look happy, like, oh my God, this is wonderful, great relationship. No, so something happened, and yeah, you can't stay in this situation forever, and that's why, in the end, either one of you decided, okay, this has been enough, and we can't go on like this. And with the cards that come up, I'm inclined to say that they were the one for most of you. Let's see, what else have we got? We have a couple of romance angel cards. Okay, zoop. Right. Separation. You deserve love, romantic feelings, and we have engagement. Separation. This is how they still feel about you. They know, well, of course, that you are apart. There's a separation, right? And they knew it was going to hurt. He was hurt as well. He's got his hand over his heart, and he's wearing armor, so he was already withdrawing, protecting himself, and the woman is completely open. Her heart chakra is also open, not covered. But he's also hurting. He's the one leaving, but in a way he also doesn't want to. He also finds it very difficult to do that, and so again, that there are still feelings in a way. He still has a soft spot for you. In a way, almost like they will never really get 100% over you. There's always, as if there's always going to be something there. And that doesn't mean to say you're going to come back together, because I do not see that. But there's something there. And they know that you are lovable and that you deserve love. And that's the thing again. He felt he couldn't give you what you needed, what you wanted, what you deserved. He couldn't give that to you. And he knew that you deserve that. You deserve that great love and all that stuff because you are so lovable. But he couldn't give that to you. He couldn't fulfill you in that, one way or another. And he still feels that way about you. In a way, admires you as well, kind of, in a loving way. And there, yeah, like I said, there are still feelings. There are still feelings, and they still feel engaged with you. They haven't let you go completely. They haven't let you go. And that's been clear with the cards, in the cards from the first set, right, with the bird here. Like I said, it's. I think this has been a connection that was really deep for both, even though it fell apart for whatever reason, and it's never really going to go away anymore. Likely not on your end either. So you will likely also still have a very what did I say? Sore spot? No, that's not the right word. Soft spot. I'm so sorry about that. Soft spot for them. And in a way, still love them, and it's the same for the other party. But yeah, like with the train, that card, it's not going to come back together again. It's not possible anymore. It's not going to work. Too much has happened. Whatever that is, it's going to be different for everyone, but too much has happened, went down. So, yeah, that. So, yeah, I hope it's helpful. I hope it makes you feel a bit better to at least know that they still have feelings for you, and that it likely is never going to go away, that will always be the case, and that they really want the best for you. They want the healing for you, and that you can be happy again, that your heart is open again, right? And because you are lovable and you deserve to be loved and to have a great relationship and a great partner. And even if they can't be that in this lifetime, they want you to have that. So there is a deep love and an awful lot of care. So I hope that helps you and makes you feel good. Thank you for watching. I'm moving to the numbers 2. Numbers 2, this person has difficulty with this situation. And I'm not certain. It could be that for a number of you that the entire reading is actually going to be for you. And of course, I cannot tell for whom that's going to be. But I do have that feeling that a number of you will feel during the reading or after the reading like, well, it's me. That's not the other person. Yeah, that's what I feel. But for most, it will likely indeed be about the other person, because that's what I drew cards for and that's what I asked, right? But this person has difficulty with it, of letting go and moving on, and in a way there's chaos. They're confused. They're trying to find their own, with a sacred pool, they're trying to find their feet again, their own self, looking in that pool to see who they are, to find their inner balance, their self-esteem, their self-love, and so on and so forth. And this with the magic stream, of course, that's a very beautiful card, but it's also like there is a beginning, and then there is a middle section and an ending, and there's a flow, right? And it's as if they didn't connect the pieces during the relationship, so didn't really go with the flow of how a relationship should be, of how a relationship should evolve then, right? Because in the beginning it's always different, right? Then you're in love and everything is pink and and rose colored, and then it settles down and it changes. A relationship is a visceral living entity, and so there's a flow, and you must be able to go with that flow. And I feel this person had difficulty with that, to flow with that, and they still are So they're not over it yet. They're not over you yet. They're not over the relationship yet and the breakup. They're still struggling with it, and they're still trying to find themselves, their feet, and their own, is that stature? That's on the inside, their own inner self. So that they are moving on in a way. Well, that's logical. If you break up, you can't stay in the same place, right? You might even have to move out, or whatever. Things change. So they are leaving stuff behind. They are also being guided, because there's this spirit there who is pushing that boat, and they're moving to calmer waters, to the other shore. But the pain and the processes, the mental processes, they're still with them. That's the swords, right? They're still on that boat. So this person still has a bit of work to do, finding the inner balance again as well. Could be that the ego got hurt. And and that needs time to heal, to work that out. In a way, they do want to move on and appear happy, at least appear happy and carefree, and that it doesn't bother them anymore, and that they're fine. And maybe they are even pretending to the outside world to be like that, but they're not. On the inside, they're not. I mean, look at that. On the inside, that is still going on. They still feel hurt. They still feel in despair, and basically they're not seeing the light at the moment, because they're still hurting. And the light is there. There's a new dawn, right? But they're not seeing that, and there are still 10 swords in their back, right? Even if they gotten out, then the wounds, 10 wounds from swords, will still have to heal. And there's nothing for you to feel guilty or bad about or anything. It's just a process that people go through after a breakup, healing and recovering. And they are still in the process. So maybe the breakup hasn't been that long ago. Maybe you're still in the middle of it. I don't know. Right? But they haven't forgotten about you and the relationship and the connection. They're still busy with it. They're still trying to find themselves again, and to find the inner balance and all that stuff. And they're still hurting as well. They're still having difficulty with it. Let's see how they look at how things went, the breakup, the ending of the relationship, how they see that. And then we have 3 cards. We have Roses, one of Roses, Commitment. Then we have the 8 of Scrolls, Path Unknown. Then we have the 7 of Roses, The Journey. There was a commitment. And if there wasn't for you, if you didn't feel there was a commitment, they did. They did feel there was a commitment, or they wanted to commit. They wanted it to work out and to be the relationship of their life or whatever. They wanted that commitment, but it went wrong, and that's why they're so hurt. And they probably knew deep down. They probably saw it coming. That might have to do with that magic stream, with that flow of life, that they didn't flow with the relationship and try to deny that something was wrong or something was off. But they wanted that commitment, and they didn't want to let it go. And then it fell apart anyway. And then for them there was chaos. Where do I go? What do I do? I don't know, right? That feeling, not knowing what to do, where to go, and just standing still at a crossroads, like, I don't know. I have to figure this out. And then the Journey card is again, is chaotic. It's a harbour, which is always an awful lot of hustle and bustle and a lot to do. And again, that sense of, where do I go? Which ship do I go on, if at all? What am I going to do? Where am I going to go? Am I going to sail to America? Am I going to sail to Africa? It's just not literally per se, right? It's metaphorically. That. And being overwhelmed by all the to-do. Maybe also seeking that overwhelmment to just distract them from the emotional pain. But they were overwhelmed and not knowing what to do, confused, feeling yeah, having this chaos situation. Yeah. So let's see how they feel about you still. Playful, that's how they see you. Oh, it's really annoying, isn't it? But now you can see it. They feel you are playful, and in a way they like that. But I also get the sense that when in a relationship, when with you, they found that difficult. That's the magic stream again from that one card, that they couldn't really flow with things. And what this is what they feel now still, right? They want to get to know you. They want a second chance, I suppose, then in that sense, right? So that he can now really get to know you. Kind of like I bleeped it up the first time and I really want to do it over, have a second chance, and then really get to know you and you really get to know me. And so there's still that longing. Hang about. Then we have that. Yeah, it's, again, you see that he or she feels like having another chance, getting another chance, and they're willing to do an awful lot for that because they're on their knee for you, offering you a rose. And in a way, that woman isn't looking like, oh yes, there is my lover, the one that I've been waiting for so long. She doesn't look like that at all. It's more like she's actually looking like, why are you there? What are you doing here? You know, I'm not certain if she's actually all that happy about it. Now, it could be that she's just surprised, but anyhow, this is about how he's feeling. He's still hoping that he can rekindle the love, and he's also hoping that that will happen really very soon. And in a way, yeah. But I don't know. It's I don't think it could work for most of you. All right, there will always be exceptions, but I wonder if you are actually willing to, well, you know, get involved again with this person. But so there's still feelings. He's still having difficulty with it, but basically, that's what I feel it will likely not work out. It's more his own inner personal shit that they are struggling with. More that than, yeah, I hope you know what I'm trying to say here. And again, that may not be, you know, for some maybe there is a chance of making it work a second time if you still feel, you know, something for this person, or enough to make that happen. But in general, this is the situation right now. That's what I get from the cards anyway. So I hope that resonates. I hope it's helpful. Thank you for watching. And now moving to the number 3. Now, this is a very interesting read. Not that the others weren't, but I hope I'm going to make it in this video. Otherwise, it's going to be a second part for the last bit. I do want to ask you to watch that then, right? Come together and we have stuck in a mud. This person wants to get back with you. And actually, what I see in the cards and what I feel is that it makes me wonder if you actually really broke up. If you want him back or her as well. Is this relationship actually really over for the both of you or not? This could be the situation where you are temporarily split up, but you're still in touch regularly as well. And it's still not really clear whether you are or aren't going to come back together eventually. That's what this situation feels like to me. And but this person, at the very least, feels like, yeah, they want to be back together with you. This is love, two people coming back together. But he is stuck in a mud and he feels stuck. And that's because at the moment it's not really working the way it's supposed to be working. Something is going on. Maybe you did split up or temporarily split up. So he is stuck in the mud. And now he must learn not to try and get out prematurely, because if you do that when you're in the mud, you will get deeper and deeper and deeper into that mud, and that's not going to help. The best thing to do is to just be still, stand still, and work through the whatever is going on until you know what to do, until you have more clarity. Right, and he's in that situation. So this isn't even really over, at least not for the other person, not at all. So are they thinking about you? Hell yes. They want you back. They want the relationship back. I have to remove that one. That's from the previous reading. And we see... which am I going to do first? Well, let's go to the tarot cards first. Here we see that as well. This man is working really hard on himself. So I'm guesstimating this person, that's the King of Cups, had issues, and they are now really trying to become emotionally mature. That's what the King of Cups is about, in control of his emotions and not controlled and by the emotions anymore, doing shadow work. So it's difficult for that person. It's really quite difficult because he's really going for the confrontation of self, right? He's not shying away from that anymore, and that's because he wants you back, and he wants it to work. He wants it to have a proper chance, and this is also again fighting inner demons. So he's really busy with that and learning to not fear change, also not to be on the defensive too easily. And this is having the two swords connecting the heart, the head and the heart. His heart is closed off at the moment, right? And the emotions, if you look at the water, it's very turbulent water. So the emotions, the feelings is all very turbulent. Her back is turned towards it as well, but they're still there. So there's a lot of stuff going on emotionally for this person. They're working really hard to get their shit sussed, to put it in a friendly way. They're really working hard in order to get back together. And then we have, how do they see the breakup? We have the Akashic Records. Oh, sorry, Akashic Library. That means that he... how he sees the breakup or the ending of the relationship, that whatever went down, it gave him some insight, as if he then saw what actually was going wrong, what he or she had done that caused it to not work out. This is about a higher connection with self. So in that sense, having more clarity, being able to see, from a bigger, broader perspective. And he's gotten that because of that breakup. But again, the love thingy, the Queen of Roses, is also about two people coming back together in love. So even when you broke up, he still felt that he really wanted to come back together again, and he wants to do something for that. He also knows that up in the air, that if he pushes it, then he's going to push it away. Then it will get out of his reach. So he has to learn now. That might be one of his problems. He has to learn to let go a bit more, so to let it unfold naturally, and not control everything. Try to control everything. He can't. If at that moment he had tried to control it, it would have slipped through his fingers. So in that sense, it's better to keep it up in the air, to leave it up in the air, and to just trust spirit, higher self, whatever, that it's going to work out in the end for the best of all involved. And you are also still there. The man and the woman are both still there. They're not in the balloon anymore, so they both are stepped out of the relationship in that sense, but they're still in the scene. So who knows how it's going to end, right? And that's a better situation for this person emotionally than to push that away with control and then see you leave with that as well. There's hope in here still. and how he or she feels about you now. 4 cards. We have there we have it again. Let go of control issues. This is all tying in again with what he's doing, what they're doing, the work on themselves to let go of control issues, because they know it's worth waiting for and that divine timing is at work in their love life. They are willing to wait. Up in the air, that's the same message, right? They're willing to wait because they really want it back and they're willing to do the work for it. So they work on their codependency so they can let go of their control issues and be more relaxed and all that, because they want the reconciliation. They really, really, really want that. So are they still thinking of you? Do they still feel for you? Yes, they do. And they're really working their asses off to become a better version of themselves, so to make it work, right? Now that might make you happy, might not make you happy. I don't know. Maybe you are done with the situation. Maybe you're not. I don't know. It will be different for everyone, I suppose. But this is how they feel and what they're thinking, what's going on with them. So thank you for watching, and I didn't make it. I'm sorry I went a bit fast, but rather do it fast and have a second part. At least it's all in the one video now and everything is there. All your messages are there. So thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye.